Viewers, do you know that history is filled with stories so bizarre that they seem impossible? Some events are so strange that they sound more like myths than reality. But guess what? These things actually happened. Imagine a war that lasted only 38 minutes, a flood made entirely of beer, or an Olympic race where runners drank poison by mistake. Sounds crazy, right? Stay with us as we uncover 5 unbelievable historical events that will leave you stunned. Don't blink, or you might miss something amazing. Let's start with something that sounds too absurd to be real. A war that lasted less than an hour. Yes, you heard that right. The Anglo-Zanzibar War of 1896 holds the record for the shortest war in history. It all started when the Sultan of Zanzibar, who was friendly with the British, passed away. His successor, Khalid bin Bargash, took over without British approval. The British Empire, being a global superpower at the time, didn't like this and gave Khalid an ultimatum to step down. But Khalid refused. Instead, he barricaded himself inside his palace with his guards. The British response? They launched an attack. Within 38 minutes, Khalid's defenses were destroyed, his men fled, and he surrendered. And just like that, the war was over before most people even had lunch. Can you imagine an entire war ending in the time it takes to watch a TV episode? Now, viewers, have you ever seen a flood? Of course, you have heard of floods caused by water, but what about a flood made entirely of beer? It actually happened in London in 1814. A massive vat of beer at the Mew & Company brewery exploded, releasing over 1.5 million liters of beer onto the streets. The wave of beer crashed into buildings, destroying homes and flooding the roads. Some people were injured while others unfortunately lost their lives. But here's the strangest part. Some citizens actually ran toward the flood with buckets to collect free beer. Imagine stepping outside your house and seeing an ocean of beer rushing toward you. It sounds like something out of a comedy movie, but for the people of London that day, it was all too real. Speaking of real yet unbelievable events, did you know there was a war between humans and birds? Yes, Australia actually fought a war against emus in 1932. Emus, the large flightless birds, had become a major problem for farmers. Thousands of these birds were destroying crops, so the government decided to take military action. Soldiers were sent with machine guns to eliminate them. Sounds like an easy win for the humans, right? Wrong. The emus turned out to be incredibly fast and hard to catch. The birds dodged bullets, outran the soldiers, and even after thousands of rounds were fired, most emus survived. In the end, the humans gave up because the emus were too smart and too fast. Imagine losing a war to birds. That's exactly what happened, and to this day, the Great Emu War remains one of the strangest conflicts in history. Now, viewers, if you think that's weird, wait until you hear about the dancing plague of 1518. Yes, a real plague where people couldn't stop dancing. It started in Strasbourg, France, when a woman suddenly began dancing in the streets. At first, people thought she was just having fun, but then more and more people joined in. Soon, hundreds of people were dancing uncontrollably, unable to stop. Some danced for days without rest, and many collapsed from exhaustion. Some even died. Imagine dancing so much that it becomes dangerous. Historians still debate what caused this bizarre event. Some say it was a case of mass hysteria, while others believe a type of poisoned grain could have caused hallucinations. Whatever the reason, the dancing plague remains one of the strangest medical mysteries of all time. And finally, here's something that will blow your mind. Did you know that in 1970, people actually tried to blow up a whale with dynamite? It happened in Oregon, USA, when a massive dead whale washed up on the shore. The authorities weren't sure how to get rid of it, so they came up with the craziest idea: use explosives to blast it into pieces. They thought the smaller bits would be eaten by seagulls, but their plan went horribly wrong. When the explosives went off, giant chunks of whale flew through the air, landing on people, buildings, and even crushing a car. Instead of solving the problem, they made an even bigger mess. This event became so famous that even today, people still talk about the time humans tried to get rid of a whale by blowing it up. Viewers, history is filled with stories so bizarre that they sound like fiction, but they are absolutely real. Which of these events surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. If you love mind-blowing facts, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an amazing story. See you in the next video with more unbelievable history.